especially for disabled people, under universal credit. Because if you're in receipt of, here's another one, PIP. For those that don't know, PIP is what the new version of disabled living allowance. It's not means tested, but under the current system, if you're getting sickness benefit, ESA, then you get an extra benefit. You get a severe disability premium if you're getting PIP. That's not going to happen under universal credit. They're scrapping severe disability premium. But if you're already getting it, that should be protected under the transitional arrangements, unless, of course, you unluckily trigger one of these many changes of circumstances, in which case you have a new claim and you don't get that transitional protection. Anything else?
That's if you're a single person, so if you got married or something.
If you got married, that's a change of circumstances. If somebody moves out of the house, somebody moves into the house. Well, I don't know how long.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
What about someone who's on their benefits, goes into prison, comes out and has to start again?
Yeah.
But have built, and that maybe their housing benefit got stopped while they were away.
Right.
So what you're saying is, under this, in the trying to get back, they could use their home.
Yeah, I'll cover some of these sort of examples when I speak actually in a moment, but essentially, if that would be a new claim, because the person when they came out of prison would have to reclaim their job seekers or housing benefit, and reclaiming either of those once Brent's gone live is a new claim which has to be on for universal credit. There are a couple of exceptions. I don't want to complicate things too much at this stage, but generally speaking,
No, the person I was thinking about was within 6 months. It was short periods.
if their housing benefit or their job seekers or whatever has stopped, there's a gap, and then they're going to reclaim a new claim, and that would be a claim onto universal credit rather than onto the old benefit.
Okay, so I've got a list that's 6 pages long of what the problems are with universal credit. Now, the first thing I need to say is that universal credit does work for some people, and some people are better off on universal credit. Because every once in a while on the pages that I'm on for universal credit, somebody says, I've had no trouble at all with universal credit. And lots of other people say, neither have I, I'm earning more money. But generally those people don't contribute to problem pages. What's wrong with universal credit is that far too many people aren't okay on universal credit. It's not collateral damage. These are people. So I'm just going to go very quickly through the problems that people have been having. The first problem is the delay, the basic delay, which is a minimum of 3 weeks. You can get a loan from the DWP to cover that time, but they claw it back at up to 40% of your universal credit claim. So people get into destitution, people can't afford to pay their rent, people can't afford to pay their bills, and once you get into that spiral, it's very difficult to come out of it. There's a problem with people who are paid every 4 weeks, because universal credit is monthly. It's calendar month. So if you're paid every 4 weeks, there will be months when you get 2 payments. Well, as far as universal credit's concerned, that means that you're earning too much to get any universal credit. So you get no universal credit for that month. The following month, you may have no payments because of your 4 week. And that means that your universal credit will go right up and it hits the benefit cap. So you don't get as much as you need to get to compensate from the previous week because you've hit the benefit cap. And there's no mechanism in universal credit to deal with this. Big problem, all the money is paid into one person in the household, usually the principal wage earner. And that, I'm sure people have been hearing, but that is, for people who are suffering from domestic violence, that's a disaster. Absolute disaster. and that there's something on the tables about victims of domestic violence. Another big problem, you can only apply for universal credit online.
Can I just ask who makes that decision about it?
Greg, can we just
Right.
forward?
We were asking a question.
Yeah, no, I know. What I'm thinking now, we should probably.
Okay.
No, sorry. Yeah.
Right, well, you can only apply for universal credit online.
You can apply or you can't?
You can only apply for it online. So you've got to be able to use a computer. 21% of the UK population don't have the 5 basic digital skills. 16% of the UK population cannot fill an online application form. That's the only way that you can apply for universal credit. So the government has brought in the CAB as expecting people to go to the libraries and get help from untrained librarians, or the CAB has taken a contract to help people with the forms, which means that we now lose the CAB as an independent arbiter of anything that might go wrong. Shall I carry on? Yeah, I think I've got pages of it.
Yeah, maybe you can pick up on some of the things that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you've done a little bit of my job for me, because I was going to